Hey friends, so I decided that I needed to install my drip system, and mainly because I tried to put the hay, to add the mulch and all that good stuff, and it does work. You really need it. However, South Texas heat is terrible, so I don't think that I have what I need to keep the moisture in. It's so hot that I needed to water more often, no matter what. I think here, maybe in another location, if you add the mulch thick enough, it will be good enough. I added hay and it really works, which I actually have to add some more because it's already composting. But anyways, it took me a couple days. I would say a while. I work normal 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and we've had a lot of family obligations in the weekend and a lot of partying. So it's taken me some time, which means that it was just more time watering. And anyways, I don't want to ramble, but I wanted to show you what I did because I have a lot of beds and it took me some time. Really the time that was most consuming was figuring out the plan and what I needed. I have 11 beds that I need a water source for, and I will show you. I have one over here and I have one on this side. Let's move over on that side, and I wanted to have enough pressure for all the beds. So let me just show you what I have. I'm going to show you all of the little details, the things that I have done wrong, because you're going to see me do one of the beds and I've made some mistakes. So stay tuned for that. Watch it through so you can see how I fix them. Okay, first things first. I'm going to come over here. Hey, look, guess what I did? It hasn't been fixed and my dog just did that, but I moved my compost. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but if you notice, this is what we end up doing. My husband installed this water line over here on this side so that I can have an actual valve, because what I was going to do is there is a faucet right on that side of the corner of the house. If you notice the top, there's a faucet right there. So originally I was going to dig underneath the fence and tie to it, but he was kind enough to bring my line over here, so now I have a faucet. I haven't painted or anything like that. This is just for now, and it's not tied to the wall yet. But over here, this is where I'm tying into the beds. I'm actually going to only do 5 of the beds and my smart pots that are on this side. So it's going to be 5 beds, so that in case I add some more stuff over here, I can still tie it to this faucet. I still have this timer from last year. It's an inexpensive timer. I have it set right now to run only on the left side. I have it set for 6 hours, 15-minute runs, and it starts at 5 in the morning. So hopefully it catches everything, and it looks pretty good right now. This is just an easy connector. I'm not sure what these are called, but it's just a coupling to be able to tie here. Last year I added a pressure regulator and an extra filter. I didn't do it over here. Not sure why, but this just seems to work so far. And we added some tape here because we did have a little bit of a drip, and that is preventing that. This is 1/2-inch poly tubing specifically for irrigation, and I'm going to show you what I did on all of the beds because it's pretty consistent. Last year I tried the 1/4-inch drip line, and I just think that it was a lot of time spent connecting, and it was just those small 1/4-inch couplings. It's really hard on your fingers. So I really wanted something easier. I wanted to use the least amount of material for each bed. The emitters on the 1/2-inch tubing that I have are every 12 inches. So I wanted to make sure that I have enough water dispersed to the entire bed. So let me show you. So the design is that it just does an oval shape all around, and then it has a line right in the middle. And this is the first time actually that I've let it run the 3 times a day. And if we dig in here, we can see that it's still pretty wet. And so I think it really works out. It's doing good. I'm still gonna test it to see if I need to run it a little bit longer, but I think overall it feels good. So on the middle, I added a T that connects the middle strip. And sometimes it does kink a little bit. You see right here? So what I've learned to do is just to kind of try to kink it multiple areas so that it doesn't shut it completely. I'll show you in another area where I did that. But that is the basic plan. And here I can still plant something in the corner and on the other side. So I do have a lot of room doing it this way. This is the piece that really made me nervous, because I was going to drill a permanent hole in the beds. So just so that you know, I walk through this area often. Yes, I have this here, I need to put it up, but I walk this area often, and so I wanted to have easy access to the shut valve. And I added this here in case I have a bed that doesn't require as much water, or it's not being used at the time. But over here, this is, remember, this is 1/2 inch tubing. The drill bit had to be 1.25 inches to make enough space for the T. I think it did a really good job, because you really don't see it. Oh, and in the middle, and I'll show you right now because I'm going to do it, I had to put a small piece of tubing to connect the 2 of those. I will say that it's much harder to install when you have existing plants, especially established plants. You do have to maneuver your way through the plants, and because I don't have too much space in the back side of the beds, I did have to squeeze to get to completing it. So just, you know, just to give you a heads up, try to find a spot that you can easily work your way in and out. Oh, and also, remember I told you I moved the compost? Actually works really well there. But I wanted to show you, I moved my smart pots over here, squished a little bit on the corner, and I did install the 1/4 inch tubing for each one of them, and they are tied to that one faucet. And this one I did just twirl it around. Lesson learned, last year I did just a circle and I tied it here, but I couldn't move the drip line if I needed to when the plant was already established, because I couldn't pull it out. The whole line is twirled here, and then I have a plug, so it stops here, which means I can always add to this if I need to. So do that instead of the circle that I did. This is the bed that we're gonna do together, and I chose this one because I was still gonna have some light, and it's a little bit further away from my neighbors that are outside right now. So if you hear screaming, that's my neighbors, they're in their pool. Okay, so I'm gonna show you that I have to dig my way through all of this. So let's work together. I wanted to show you, sometimes you accidentally put in a coupling in the wrong place, and then you have to cut it off, because once it's in here, it is really hard to pull out. You can do it, but it takes a lot of strength to do it. These are actually really good. So I did that on this one, and I wanted to show you that this piece was stuck in here with just a tiny bit coming out. And so I use these to just tug at it all the way around until I was able to take it out. So now I can use this one again. It's not trash. Now for each bed, I used 4 T's, 1 elbow, 1 shut valve, a measuring tape, scissors. You can cut this with scissors, or I'm using my shears. I've already pre-cut this piece. This is the piece that's going to come back here to connect this side. And I've made the hole here, and the logic was that I was going to keep the holes together. See, on this side it's already there, so that if I'm going to come in here, I can have access to this one or the other one on this side. Now I didn't put them here, which would be ideal to be closer to the walking edge, but remember, I didn't want to put an elbow on each corner plus a T here to connect the middle. So I was avoiding using an additional 4 elbows per bed. First things first is I'm going to measure the center, the length of the center, so that I can have that middle piece cut. I moved over here because it's pretty loud. Alright, so now that I've made my cut, just make sure that your emitter is not too close, so in case you need to cut a little bit more, you still have room to do that. And then remember that this is your coupling, and this goes about halfway inside. So this is the part that's a little hard, so you need to use your muscles. So you're just going to like wiggle it in there, but once it's in there, it's really hard to get out. Okay, that doesn't come out. Now, before I put the other side, I'm gonna measure again, just in case, because I did make the mistake where I put both on, and then it was too short. So, do that. Alright, you see how the emitter is right here, and I only have that much room? That is the room that you need to go inside. So it's really close, but I can still use this piece. So we're gonna do that. Do the other side. And then, see how close it is? That's the emitter, right there. So there's no room for more, which is fine. Next step is you need some landscaping staples. I'll link these. These are from Amazon, and I really like them. I had bought some before that didn't work out. Make sure that you buy galvanized, because they will rust. These are galvanized and they do not rust, so you really want that. Alright, so I'm gonna find an area here where I can just squeeze this in and kind of just fish it through. Some of these tomatoes are very in there. I just kind of wanted to show you that sometimes it's going to be a little struggle. And then here we go. So what I'm going to do is put a staple right here so it doesn't move, so I work in one area. Because that end has a staple, I can tug a little bit on this side and it won't move. I'm going to add another one here in the middle so it doesn't lift. There we go. And then now I'm just going to place this one in between here and finish it off right here. And then remember I told you about measuring twice? Okay, well, this is exactly why. Now, I will show you how to fix this. You really just have to force this one a little bit further, or it's just gonna bend a little bit on that side. Here, let me move this out of the way. Okay, so I did, and see now it fits in here, and it's just a tiny bit curvature, so it's not straight, but it still fits. That's why you measure twice, which I thought I did, but obviously I didn't do it right. Now it's time to add the two pieces that are on the side, which can be a little bit difficult to measure. So give yourself some room with extra on the emitter side. So in case you did it too long, you can easily just cut it off. Because once you put it in, you're stuck. So make sure that you do check this one very, very precisely. I always like to show you everything that I do right or wrong. This is the first bed that I did the setup on, and let me just show you. Look how bad it is. It's less on this side, it's more on this side. This is not doing good here, but it still works. The emitter still works. So what I did is, this one was too long. So what I did is, when I cut here for the T, I shortened it. So that was the temporary fix, and it worked, but it didn't help me in the center. See the curvature here? It's because I cut it too long and I didn't measure. Let me show you how I measure. Because a lot of people just show you what they did, but they didn't show you their errors and how they got there, and I just want to show you all the details. So you start with this end. I know my bed is 7 feet long and the middle is a foot. So technically 9 feet will give me extra space. So I'm gonna do that. So you put your measuring tape on the tip and then just hold it as you drag down. So just grab, hold until you get to 9 feet. It's gonna bend and such. That's how it goes. Hope you can see, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm very clumsy, so I'm the one that will probably let go of the measuring tape and then cut my finger. Not this time. Before I lose my spot. Let me cut. I need to sharpen my shears already. Okay. So remember I told you you need room on each end. That's my measuring tape. Okay, the emitter's here. Leave yourself some room. On the other side, emitter's right here. Leave yourself some room. And I'm gonna use the shorter piece so that if I need to cut, I cut on the longer side. I've already fished it through here, and so I placed it here. It's gonna go in about that much. Okay, my emitter's over here. So the reason why you wanna set it in place before you connect it is because, you see, look at the extra that I have. I have a lot of extra. Once you have your first one, you have measurements and then you can keep going. But I wanted to show you exactly what I did the first time. Okay, so if I leave it the way it is, you see my emitter? And remember, I have space on the other side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure this much, because I need to cut this much away from the other side. If I cut the other side, then I can make my cut here and connect it there. So I need about 6 inches. I have to make sure that I have 6 inches on this side to cut. So I think I have the exact amount I need before I get too close to the emitter. Okay, I did my cut. I wanted to show you what I do. Should be good enough. Stuck here. Whoops. On the other side, now we have the emitter over here, and I can make my cut. Make sure that's in place. how I don't have an emitter here now. I'm going to cut right about there. My staple. Now we're going to come over here where I have the hole I drilled, and I'm going to make a cut so that I can put my T. Okay, I'm going to show you right now how I made another mistake. My hole's right here. Let me get back here. My hole's right here. You see there's a emitter right here. I have to make sure I have enough room, so I might have to push this a little bit further that way so that I can get this here. Sorry if you can't see, I'm just trying to make a good cut so that I have enough space before the emitter. Now, I put my lines out here, left them out open for a while. Sometimes you get debris inside. You don't want debris inside your tubing. So a way to fix that, I think that's gonna be it. Okay, so a way to fix that is you get your water hose and put your water hose against the end here and let it flush out. You'll flush the line and all your debris will come out of the other end. So you can only do that if you have an open end. Once you close both, once you connect it, you can't put water in one side and have it come out the other. So if I were to do this and put water in here, it's not gonna come out. So make sure that if you do get some dirt in there, I had some ants that got in one of them. So I had to flush it out. So just make sure that you do it before you connect it where you have two ends. So now I'm going to measure, make sure that I'm there. So I come back and put it inside. That looks good. It still worked out. Remember I told you need to make sure you fit. So I can fit. Okay, my next piece is the one that's going to connect to the bed. So my beds are 2 feet tall, and that's basically what you need. So this is the 24-inch piece. First thing is the bottom. So this is the T that's going to connect through the entire line to each bed. Don't put it here. It goes here. There it goes again. I will show you what I did on the other side. I'll put it on here while I'm doing this, because I did that on the floor piece by piece. This is much easier. Alright, so now I already know this. So it's really the length of my hand from the bottom to my shut valve. So right about here, or yeah, right about there. I'm gonna make a cut. Because I'm gonna put the shut valve. And this is actually easy to slide when you're out here, not like I was doing it earlier. I think it's easier than the other one. And it might be the same, it's just that I can see this. I can't see this side. Because you see the difference. So you just press that and you can see where it's going. Okay. So now we've got this piece. You're gonna have some extra on this side, but that extra is what you're gonna use to connect the little piece horizontal. Always have to think. Horizontal, vertical. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Oops. To squeeze in here, you're gonna need your mat because you don't want to be on the floor like gravel and all this stuff. Let me see if I can do it the opposite way. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, this isn't the best spot, but I wanted to show you. Okay, this is the piece that comes from the other end. I have to connect it. But remember, my valve is gonna be on this side. So I have to connect it here. This is the hard part. So I'm bringing it from the other side because I have to cut it to here. So I'm gonna, whoops. Here it is. Sorry about that. I'm gonna cut right there. Okay, maybe this is better. Alright, so we have our T right here. So we know it's gonna go like this. In here. Let's see if I can do this. This is gonna come here. So you wanna cut right about here. Now, it is much harder to put this piece in here than it in this one because this one's bigger. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put this one in here first, put it on this side, and then connect this one. It's much easier. I haven't taken stickers off, so that's gonna go this way. Okay, so we're gonna do it that way first. It's gonna look like this. Now, we only need that much. I'm gonna cut right there. You see why this is much easier to do on this side. So you're gonna hold it, just press. Wiggle it in. There you go. Now last piece is to connect this one. That's what it looks like. We did it. This was the very last piece. I have all the beds connected. Some of them are just placed in there for now. But you see I have a kink in here. Well, we're gonna test it out. Before I do that, I wanted to show you where I connect. So the tree has a drip line that's hidden underneath the gravel. And it comes out over here and it connects. See, I have two shut valves. This is if I need to add over there to the garden bed. This is if I need to shut off all the beds and still maintain my drip line for my tree. So this is the line that's gonna run all the way. I have to make sure this is off. Yep. If it is horizontal, it's on. This is off. And that actually ties into the line that goes over there that feeds those two. And the main line stops right here. But if you can see from the back, everything's tied together. You're gonna test it with me, okay? The other side works. I'm not sure about this one. This is a new timer. I will have it linked on Amazon. But I will say that Home Depot carries it much cheaper. This one has the filter that originally had. I didn't want to stop using it. No. So I just kept it here. And this ties into the drip tube. Oh, look, we've got a friend there. This is a new timer. It has 4 stations, and now I'm going to try one of them. I haven't tried it, so the reason why I picked this timer is because you can set as stations, so you can do morning, evening, you know, whichever, and you can do each one at different times, you know, different times of the day, different days of the week. See how it says Wednesday? Well, it lists all of the days of the week. You can do a lot with this timer. The other one only does it actually does 6, 12, or 24 hours. That's it. So you can choose any time. Right now I'm going to set a manual. I only want station 3, and I want it for just 2 minutes. Let's make sure that there, it's on. All right, let's check. See, that's what happened with the other one. I've got to come in here and put some tape in here. Okay, this is the tape I'm gonna use. I'm gonna try this again. Okay, let's do manual. I only want that station. It's still doing this. Okay, let's just see how everything else is working. I'll come back and fix it. So that's dripping. That's dripping. See the part where it's kink there? It's still dripping there. Let's check back here, make sure we have no leaks. I think there's a minor leak down there. I might have to fix that one. Let's see if we're getting some water here. Yep, we are getting water. Okay. We got water in there. We'll check that in a little bit. Okay, let's see. I don't see water on this one. What did I do? There's water over here, for sure. Forgot to turn this one on. There goes the water. There we go. We got water. Let's check over here. There's no water on that side. To make sure that this one's on. Yeah. Oh, I remember. That has a kink right there. So I put in that staple there so it doesn't kink. And we've got water. We got some water right there. Okay. Keep going. There's water there. This is the last bed. There's water here. Water there. It's dripping. Dripping. Okay, I timed it so it's not leaking from here. I just have a small drip. It's coming from up there. So I'm gonna need to probably get my husband and tighten this one a little bit more. It works, and I did mostly all of it by myself, so I feel really accomplished. I think it's one of the hardest things that I've done here, because I needed to really think about what I was gonna do, and I kept second guessing myself, but you know what? It turned out really well. I have a few of the pots on the front that I need to connect, but outside of that, it's done. I can go on vacation. I really can, and I can really come in the mornings and enjoy my garden instead of having the need to water. I still love to water, but it's better if I choose to water as opposed to I have to water. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.